Hello, I'm Fred Dengler, co-founder of the Mikal Corporation, and today we're going to talk about setting up your booking rules. We call them prototypes at Mikal. So let's get into that and take a look at how we can actually create easy-to-use prototypes or prototypical services that when you go to book them, know all the rules, how long it takes, who can do it, if we need a room, if we need a machine, if different people need different amounts of time. We can set all that up in the system. So to do that, the first thing that I'd like to do is go into our admin program. And for admin, we keep our services or our service menu in our inventory system. So to give you an example of what one looks like, let's bring up one called Haircut Women, which is HCW. Haircut Women in our system. We see it's a service. It's a cutting service. It takes a half an hour. The price is $150. And we've got a $3 per service item deduction. So you can set up a dollar amount or a percentage item deduction if you want. You can also do commission by each service. So if certain services are more profitable to the salon, you might give an additional service to the service commission to the service provider when they do that service. Let's say a regular spa massage is $100 and it's pretty profitable, but the hot stone massage doesn't take any more professional products or any extra time, and it's billed at $140. You might give people an extra 5% commission down here on the hot stone massages, which would help your techs move people towards the hot stone massage. So this is Haircut Women now. Some people say, well, you knew that prototype. What if you don't know? Let me go in here and just do a search. You can always click on the search button or F2 for search. And if I put in hair, any part of the description, it's going to bring up all of my hair services that I have in the system. So I was looking at those and let's say, oh, I don't have a Haircut Children yet, so I'm going to make one. I do an ad, and this is going to be Haircut Child, HCC. Let's stay consistent with our service menu. And this is going to be Haircut Child. And then it's going to be a service. So we come down and make it a service. It's a cutting service. Do you allow overbooking? I'm going to say no to that. Now that it's a service, you see the screen change because we look for different things than a retail item in inventory. So no, you can't overbook. Estimated time, let's say that it's only 15 minutes to do a child. So I'll do 0.25 for 1/4 of an hour. And the sell price for that, let's say, is $30 for a child's haircut. I can come down here, and if I use certain professional products, I can automatically deduct them inside the service when I'm doing my services. Then over here, if certain things are tax exempt, commission exempt, if they're inactive and you're not doing them anymore, you can put those flags in. And here's your history. Week, last week, month, last month. At a glance, you can see the number and the dollars that you've done in any one of your services. So I say, okay, that looks fine. Now it's going to say, do we want to add a prototype? I'm going to say yes to that. And when I add a prototype, it's going to change it to the prototype box. So it's a Haircut Child. It can't be overbooked. How many slots is one? Now the personnel resource, we want to add that. Personnel, we don't want nail techs or skincare professionals to show up when we're doing a no service provider search, when somebody says, I need a child's haircut, and I don't care who it is. So we have resource groups. I'm going to go into my resource groups, pick my hair people, and so only hairdressers, only my cosmetologists will come up in the search when I'm looking for a Haircut Child service and I haven't specified a certain operator or service provider. Physical resource, we don't need to do that. We would only need to add a physical resource if there was a certain room. Now, I do have some kids cut salons that do have physical resources. They'll have the fire truck, the turtle chair, different kinds of fun animal chairs that they pick based on what the child wants. And that's kind of funny because, you know, the little boys want the fire trucks a lot of times, and the little girls maybe want the Beetle. I don't know. So you can have physical resources. Then, do you want a specific technical card? And I'm going to say that we want just our technical notes card on this, but you can have all different kinds of cards on the customers and track their chemical cards, massage card, nail card, basic haircut card. And then it's the last part in the service. So when I OK this, it has automatically gone in and created that, and I'm ready to go literally right into the system and book a haircut child. So if I wanted to do that, I would go in here. Let's say we just want to book it for 3:15 today. I go in, and what do I want to book? I'm going to look for all my hair services. Who's the customer? I pick my customer here, or I could add a customer. Now, I don't have all the personal information on this customer. It's giving me a warning there. I could change it or not change it right then. I finish my appointment. Do they want a reminder? Let's say they want a email reminder. And then we put in their phone number because we don't have a phone number on them yet. And we go, and it's been booked. So that's how quickly you can book a service literally after you put it into the system. Now, let me go into and show you just a couple of other things on booking, because that's the quick way to get single services built as prototypes. Let's go back into our files, and now we're going to go deeper in the system. Instead of doing inventory where we build the services, we're going to go into our system information. And here is where we build our full appointment book. And so I'm going to go in here, and the thing I'm going to do first is show you the physical resources that we can build. These are our rooms. These are special things that we want to build out on our system. And Windows is interrupting me there for a second. So here's our manicure stations, our pedicure chairs, tanning booths if we have that, our O2 bar. That's where we would build physical resources in. And then the other thing we do after we build in our physical resources is we build in groups. So if we've got 5 manicure chairs, we'd want to build them all in here and put them all in one group. If we've got, let me go into the pedicure chairs and show you that. And here's the name, physical resource. And then the members that are built in there, we could have multiple chairs. So you build out the actual physical resources of your business. You build out the groups, the hair cutters, the nail techs, the skincare people. And once those are built out, then you can go into the system and really flesh out your prototypes. And since we were on manicures and pedicures and all that, let's take a look at that. So I'm going to go in here and just show you a manicure. And we have one called a mani. And the prototype parts look like what you had set up in the other part of the system, in the inventory system. If I explode this, expand it out, this is that box that popped up with 30-minute manicure. We use a nail tech person. We're going to use technical notes, and it's the last prototype in the series. So that's already in there. That looks good. And then we've got a pedicure that's in here as well. Let's say we want to take a look at our pedicure. And again, I could search for these things, but because they're so simple the way that I build them, I pretty much know what the prototype codes are within a day or two of playing around with this. There's our pedicure. It takes 3 time slots. We need a pedicure chair. It's the last part of the appointment. Now, let's say something that happens a lot is a manicure pedicure. And so what we want to do is have a combined appointment. So let's say we create one called a ManPed. So M-A-N-P-E-D. So if I go in here and show my manicure pedicure, what I do is I bring in my mani service and my pedi service, put them in as separate parts, and all I need to do here are a couple of things. One, do I want the same personnel resource to do the manicure and the pedicure? And then how do I connect the 2 parts together? You've got different ways to connect it. You can continue with no slots in between. That means no wait time. You could continue with slots between, or you could do them concurrently. So let's say this is, leave it as it is, no slots in between. So this is our manicure pedicure that would book automatically. This is really nice too for, let's say, our color services. If I go in and take a look at our colors, one of ours is a CDP, and that's our color double process. The prototype parts in here are we're going to do a double process. Any of our employees can do this, but we could do just our hairstylist if we wanted to. And it continues with slots in between 2 slots. By doing this, what it's going to show you is it'll start the color, it'll give your service provider 2 slots to work a haircut into the middle, and then it'll finish up over here on this side with the finish of the color. So you can do all kinds of things with this. Now, the other thing that you can do is go into an even deeper dive on the, let's do the manicure. So we bring up our manicure and we have advanced booking. Once we've got our manicure built, is it internet bookable? You can either activate or deactivate certain services if you want them to be able to be booked by customers through the internet. Then you want slots in between, which means do you want these to only back up right against another service, or will you allow slots to go in between when the customers are searching for these prototypes? The other thing we do, which is a great marketing idea, is our pop-up upsells. And so in this case, when somebody goes to book a manicure, the system will pop up with an upsell paraffin treatment, and we'll go through and I'll show you the actual scripting. You actually build the scripting into the system. And then is this also available to be booked on our cyber perceptionist or our tablet system? So we build those things in, and underneath that, do we have certain employees that take different amounts of time? That's our custom bookings. Do we have alternate prototypes? That would be if we had other ways to book this manicure, and you really can only book a manicure one way. It's a single service, but I'll show you where that comes in handy. Valid times. Do we have a manicurist every day? If we don't even have manicurists on Wednesdays and Tuesdays, you set that up like here, Tuesday, no, and it won't even offer Tuesdays for a manicure service. It won't search for it, it won't find it. Then a procedure description. This pops up automatically, and it's just for the front desk person or whoever's booking the appointment to read, and make it very sales-oriented, like in this case. Our manicure is amazing. We start with a consultation and polish review of what's new, then a relaxing soak in our special rose water, and we always finish with a hand and wrist massage. How does that sound? So what you tell the people is when somebody goes to book a manicure and this pops up, just read the script, because if they read the script and the customer says yes, and they hit yes that they want it, it automatically adds the paraffin. That can literally add 1 extra service to every 3rd, 4th, or 5th booking that you make. Amazing impact on your business. And then the last thing is, do you want this to automatically be added to the rebook entry, which means when somebody books a manicure and they're leaving, it'll say, do you want to rebook? And all the rules that we use to book that manicure will load in automatically for the rebook search. Great time saver there too. You're not reinventing the wheel over and over and over again. So when we get done with that, it's going to pop up and show our upsell script for the paraffin upsell. Have you heard about our manicure special? We know this season's tough on our hands, dry weather, cracking, and dry skin. We can help you with these scripts. In fact, we help you set all of these up so that you don't have to rethink this and reinvent all the things that we've been doing with salons over the last 35 plus years. So we okay that, and we're done with it. So that's our advanced booking. Now I can cancel back out and go on into the last step that I wanted to show you, which was the multiple service prototype. And what that does is, with our ManPed, let me show you the ManPed and we'll bring up our prototypes. You've got the 2 ways of booking this. Now, you can swap these things around. So the system will look automatically. If it can't fit a manicure pedicure in, maybe it could fit a pedicure manicure in. Maybe it could fit in a pedicure manicure with 1 slot in between. The system will do all that kind of looking for you. So when I end this, I'll show you an example of one of those. I'll go into advanced booking, and we've got our alternate prototypes. So here for manicure pedicure, we've got 3 other ways the system will search automatically for a manicure or pedicure. Let me go in and just take a look at this one. So it's a Z-Man P2, and show you how you set that up. Z-Man P2. And then the prototype parts